Welcome, friends. A couple of weeks ago we started doing a regular Saturday morning video where we make the most watched recipe videos in different categories. And one of them that we did was for pancakes, the most watched pancake recipe video on YouTube. And you know what? The pancakes were fine. If you like a thick, fluffy pancake that's sort of between a quick bread and a cake, they were great. I mentioned that they weren't the kind that I like. Jules and I don't make that kind at home. And on the various social platforms where we put stuff, people started asking, well, show us the pancake that you normally make. So this is that recipe. So in goes milk and sugar, and then a couple of eggs. It also gets some melted butter and vanilla. And we just whisk that up a little bit. Next in is some flour. And by volume, this recipe is twice as much milk as flour. So it's a very thin batter, but it's not quite as thin as a French crepe. This is much more closely related to a Finnish Lettu. And I know I'm saying that wrong, so if you're from Finland, please don't leave nasty comments. I don't speak Finnish. And Jules and I lived for a while in Thunder Bay, which is northern Ontario. Huge Finnish population. There was a restaurant there called the Hoito, and this was the style of pancake that they served there. It's not the exact pancake that they served there. It's just kind of what, after we left Thunder Bay, this is the one we thought, oh, let's try to make those at home. And this is what we came up with. So the batter is a little bit thicker than French crepes. You pour it into a pan, a little bit thicker than a French crepe. They're not quite as rubbery. Now, inside our house, I don't use this pan. Inside our house we have a gas stove, and I have a really nice proper pan to make these in. But in a pinch, this Teflon coated pan is going to work just fine. So, sort of medium heat, and even though it's a non-stick pan, I put butter in because the butter is going to add an incredible amount of flavor. And now in with just enough batter to sort of thinly coat the bottom of the pan. We swirl that around a little bit. So the most difficult thing about this recipe is getting the temperature of the pan right. That balance between too hot or too cold can be very difficult to get at the beginning. And you just have to play with it. And every stovetop and pan combination is going to be a little bit different. So if the first one doesn't work out, don't worry about it. There's lots more to make. This one's almost done. Now you probably don't need to add more butter to the pan between the first and second, or maybe even the second and the third. But somewhere along the line you will have to add more butter. Now I hear you. There are a lot of people out there who are going to be typing furiously that they only ever use a cast iron pan. And I love cast iron pans. I've got lots of cast iron pans, bare cast iron pans, enameled cast iron pans, Dutch ovens, brasseurs, French ovens, the whole 9 yards. I really do believe that non-stick is the pan for this operation. This is not the one that I would normally use, but there's something about the way it's easy to flip these. They don't ever stick. And I hear you, your cast iron never sticks, but you know, I think this is the way to go. And when you flip them, you're looking for this nice kind of golden brown lace pattern. And maybe just a little bit of a lace around the outside edge, crispy. And here we are, the last one. So these take a little bit longer to cook than sort of the standard thick, fluffy pancakes. And so what I do is I'll put them on a plate and then stick that plate in the oven on the lowest setting to keep them warm. Maple syrup. To keep them warm while I'm making them all so that everybody can eat at the same time. Now I put maple syrup on mine. Julie loves these with strawberry jam. At the Hoyto in Thunder Bay, we always saw people just putting powdered sugar on top. However you want to serve them, I mean, it's your breakfast. Put on whatever you want. Slather on some Nutella and then roll it up and eat it like a crepe. But I really like them this way. Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying that these are better than the other pancake recipe. I'm saying I like this better. And I think that's the great thing about cooking at home, is that you can find something that works for you. And if you like it, then make it. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's just better for you. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to eat my pancakes. I'm really looking forward to these. Oh yeah. That's amazing. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.